book chapter is going to tell us. So there are some guidelines for achieving successful cultural change. Let's look at them. So this is here is one. Always, 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 always link to organizational vision, mission, and objective. Remember that conversation from with one of the friends who was talking about objective, purpose, goals, target. Look at this one. People need to be convinced by a compelling vision rather than compelled in a coercive way. People need to be convinced. You have to win their heart and their mind. You have to convince them that that is the right way. So if I want you to participate in the discussion, I need to convince them. One way is incentives and those things, but this is other type of terminology they are using. Convince by a compelling vision rather than compelled in a coercive way. So the way I think, I would look at incentives of scores and those things, compelling in a coercive way. That is how I would think it, but you can think the way you want. They need to see the overwhelming logic of the proposed change. Please look at these words. Overwhelming logic, overwhelming logic of the proposed change. The more people are drawn towards the vision, the better. So please look at this. Convinced by compelling vision, convinced by overwhelming logic, not just logic. If it makes sense to you, you are going to say, oh, this is logic. No, overwhelming logic. They are overwhelmed by your logic. So when you are in that change, cultural change, you need to think about this. Next one, create a sense of urgency. We cannot stress it enough. We have mentioned it so many times. I don't even feel like going over it again, to be honest. I'm sure you have get a hang of that by now through various discussions. And continually reinforce the need to change. Yeah, think about this. Attend to stakeholders' issues. Stakeholders' issues. What are the issues stakeholders are facing? So the incentive part you guys mentioned, to increase participation. So I would not think it in the sense of incentives. I would think it as stakeholder issue. So it is your issue that you would want to score high in the participation. It is your issue that you would want to score high in the reflection and so on. So that is how I would look at it, as an issue for you, and then making cultural change to address that issue, not incentive. That is how I would think, but both ways are right. I'm not trying to say that one way is better than the other. Look at this one. Organizations' future success is dependent on engaging staff to enter into the new way of doing things. Organizations' future success. Future success. So an organization might be very successful right now, but you want to make some cultural changes. So future success will be dependent if the employees, if the staff engage. If they don't engage, if the change don't make sense to them, if they don't have that overwhelming logic, if they don't trust you, forget about it. Don't even touch organizational cultural change. Or as a matter of fact, trying to change the culture of your friend. It's not going to happen. Even if it happens, it will be very short amount of time, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months. That honeymoon period, which we call when two new things come, honeymoon period. it will happen, but then over a period of time, but of course I am just sharing my thoughts. These are not in no means, may God forbid me, these are not word of God. This is just a book which someone wrote. So for us it's just to, you know, to reflect on and then see what works for us. Anyways, remember that the how is as important as the what. How you do the thing is as important as what you do. How you do it, your technique, how, your body language, your tone of voice, and these things many times these are unconscious, you don't even know, and the other person is getting the wrong signal which you don't want them to really take. If you say one thing but do another, then you might as well give up now. Please read this line, I'm not making it up. If you say one thing but do another, then you might as well give up now. Cultural change. If you want to change the culture, you say something else and you do something else. These authors are telling us it is better that you give up. Forget about it. Just forget about it. It's not going to happen. This is the point which one of our friends mentioned, very beautiful point. Build on the old and step into the new. In the culture, identify the things which you like. These are the 6 things, 7 things I love about you. Please don't change them. I'm thankful about these things. Very good. This is just one thing, little thing which you can change over a period of time. Again, be very, be cautious about that. Change is, you think, let's say that me and you are sitting, face to face. Just imagine that you and me, we are sitting face to face, one on one, yeah, one-on-one. So we are sitting, me and you are sitting. No one else is there. Me and you are there. And I tell you, I don't like this thing in you. How are you going to react? You don't have to tell us. But if I say even one thing that I don't like this thing in you, you need to change it. This is not good. On the other hand, again, me and you, one on one, we are sitting in a very beautiful place. And I tell you, I love this thing about you. This thing which you have, my God. That one comment you made in the discussion, that night I could not sleep. I was just, I was thinking about it. That was such a beautiful comment you made. Now compare and contrast these two situations. In one situation, I am telling you just one bad thing which I did not like. Just one bad thing. One, not two, just one thing. And I walk away. On the next one, I'm again just one good thing I'm telling you. Just one, not two. And how you are going to go about that. So although what I'm trying to say, one is very, very small number, one, but there is a power in one, power of one. Please read on that, power of one. Power of one. Just one positive word, what influence it can have on someone. And just one negative word, how it can sabotage that person. Think about it and reflect in your own life. When someone said, someone who you know, who is your inspiration or you look up to or whatever, and they told, or you love them or whatever, and they told you one bad thing, how it can influence you. And on the other hand, someone said one good thing, one positive thing, and what can be the impact. So think about that. So please, this one, build on the old and step into the new. You can think about that. So for example, this one, if you want a coaching culture, then start coaching. If you want people to be empowered, then start empowering. Whatever you want to do, just start that. But again, link it with the last pointer. If there is a diversion between what you are saying and what you are doing, then it is not going to work. And the funny part is, or the dilemma is, that people are not going to come to you and tell you that they are not going to support you, especially in an organizational setting. Because people, just like someone mentioned earlier, that people are careful how other people are viewing them. So they might not come to you and, especially if they are subordinates, they might not come and say very openly that, oh, we don't like this, we don't like this. But in their heart, they are not with you. In their mind, they are not with you. They are not as passionate as you are about, for example, this one, coaching. So they are talking about coaching. They don't care about coaching. They have other issues. They don't care. Not going to work. Yeah, so please think about that. Generate enabling mechanisms. Yeah, so when, for example, class participation, you guys are free to say whatever you want to say. You can say it. Even if I don't, agree 100%, I try my best not to make it very obvious. So what is that? That is enabling culture. No one laughs on any other person. Whatever you say, no one. When we were meeting face to face, we ensured that no matter what someone says, other people don't laugh at them. We discourage that. Yeah. So what is that? That is enabling mechanism. Yeah. You can think about that. And in that, as you guys mentioned, so I can highlight that you guys mentioned reward system. So the book is with you, that they are saying that enabling mechanism, reward systems are there. Yeah, I just have my own way of thinking, which I told you. So you can think about that. You can think about that, and whatever works for you, you can think, you can take point from that. Act as a role model. Yeah, inspiration, role model. People can look up to. Create a community of focused and flexible leaders. So these two words, think about these two words, focused and flexible. So focus. So if you are focused, how you can be flexible? If you are flexible, how you can be focused? Yeah, that is an interesting balance. You need to think about it. So if you read the first three lines, you will understand what they mean. Let's look at that. So on the one hand, many people want clear, confident, and focused leadership during the periods of change. Yeah, clear, confident, focused. But on the other hand, the leader who will reflect upon what is happening on the ground and adjust their plan accordingly. So you want clear, confident, focused leadership. Yes, that is important. But on the same note, you want leaders to reflect upon what is happening on the ground and then adjust. So you should not go in the cultural change with a plan in your head which you are going to just implement without thinking. You should have a plan, but you should understand that the situation is dynamic. Things are going to happen. You are dealing with human. One person mentioned human element. in the last session, human element. So you are dealing with human element, emotions, anger, frustration, all those type of things which we go through when we are in the change. Need to think about that. Yeah, this is extremely important. Insist on collective ownership of the changes. Collective ownership. Collective, not about one person, not one person. So as I try that you guys participate, I should also have been trying that ask you guys who are participating, who have been participating in the discussion, that when you are with your friends, with your colleague, tell them, ask them to participate. Because the idea is that the more we participate, the more minds we have thinking on the issue, whatever it is. The more minds thinking on the one issue, the more ideas will come, the more solutions will come. Especially, it depends on the minds also, what type of minds are there, but because you guys are smart people, so that is why I'm saying that, because the people are smart enough to contribute to the discussion. So in that situation, the more the minds are, the better it is. So collective ownership. You should also link it with some other concepts which some of our friends mentioned in earlier sessions. For example, shared values. Shared values. What is collective ownership? It is going to come from some shared values. If there is nothing which we share, which we have similar, then it might be challenging. Although we should also note that opposite attracts. They also have this saying, opposite attracts. If you and me are opposite, it is going to attract you. So because my accent is a little bit different, it might attract you and it might also irritate you. It can happen both ways. So attraction and irritation. But generally speaking, they are saying opposite attracts. Opposite attracts. And same way they say that birds of a feather fly together. Birds of a feather fly together. Similarities. So you have to think about both these. Opposite attracts. Opposite is going to develop some collective ownership. On the other hand, birds of a feather fly together. Birds who have similarities, they are going to go together. People who have similarities together. Any other thing which you think we should keep in